Welcome to ANS Solver question 5 of this paper. So, for part A of this question, they are asking us to substitute x as various values and they are asking us to use the graph to find the values. So, for f of 1, which means x, the x value is 1, we have to see where x is 1, where does the graph intersect, or what is the y coordinate when x is 1. So, x is 1 right over here. So, you can draw a vertical line from 1 and make sure you use a pencil and a ruler to do this so you get more accurate answers. Now, this is where x is 1 and it is intersecting at the point of -3. So therefore your answer for part A1 would be -3. Now you can keep those lines on the graph because the examiner would want to see how you came to the final answer of -3. And the same thing for part A2. Like whatever lines you draw on the graph, you keep it as it is. Now let's move to part A2 where they are asking us to find the value of f of -2. So first what you do is you find the y coordinate where uh, x is -2, and then whatever y coordinate you get, you use that y coordinate as an x coordinate and then you find a second y coordinate. So first they've asked us to find the y coordinate when x is -2, so you can draw that vertical line with your pencil and a ruler and see where it intersects. Now as you can see, it intersects at the point of where y is 3. So therefore now you take your x coordinate as 3 and you see where the y intersects when x is 3. So all you need to do is draw a vertical line from 3, and as you can see, it intersects, or the y coordinate would be 6.2. Now for this type of question, they usually give a range, say of 2 decimal places, say from 6 to 6.3, 6 to 6.1 to 6.4, something like that. So with a gap of 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places. So even if your answer doesn't come exactly the same as mine, you should get the correct answer for this question. Now let's move to part B of the question. So they are asking us on the grid to draw a suitable line to solve the equation. Now, if you see, this equation is slightly different to what they've given us in the question. In the question, the first two terms are the same. As you can see, x square minus 2x. But the last term, which is -2 in the question, but in part B of the question, it is -7. So they have actually added a -5 to it. So we can rewrite this as -2 is equal to, we can take that -5 to the other side. So it will become +5. So therefore this would be the equation. Now with this equation, what you can do is, I'll just write it a bit neatly. X square minus 2x 2 by x minus 7 is not 7, sorry, -2 is equal to 5 minus 3x. So now all you need to do to solve this question is to plot the line 5 minus 3x. Now you need to get two coordinates first to plot this line. So you can say when x is 0, you can find the y coordinate. So -3 multiplied by 0 is 0. So your y coordinate would be 5. So therefore this would be 1 point on the graph. That would be right here. Now let's put an x on it. Yeah. Now the second coordinate, you could substitute x as 1. So if you substitute x as 1, so -3 multiplied by 1 is -3. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Therefore your y coordinate would be 2 when x is 1. So this would be your second coordinate of the line. Now all you need to do is use your ruler and join both the points and extend it till the end of the graph. Now make sure you use a ruler and a pencil again for this so that you get more accurate answers. And if you make a mistake, you can erase it anytime you want. So this would be the line that you're supposed to draw. Now to solve this question, you need to just see where the line intersects the graph. So that would be at the point of the x-axis, that is, so the x coordinates, not the x-axis, the x coordinates. So the positive x coordinate, which would be right here, it would be close to 1.7. So you could say one of the coordinates is 1.7. 1.7, my bad. 1.7, and the other coordinate, as you can see, it intersects the curve right here, so that would be close to 0.12, close to negative 0.3. So you can say negative 0.3. So therefore that will be your final answer for part B of this question. Now let's move to part C. So for part C, they are asking us, by drawing a suitable tangent, find an estimate of the gradient of the curve at x equals to -2. Now firstly, you will draw a tangent at the point x equals to -2. That would be right here. So you take your ruler and a pencil and you draw a straight line like that and extend it till the end of the graph, like this. And again, make sure you use a pencil and a ruler so that you get more exact answers, and in case you made a mistake, you can always erase it and do it again. Now since we've drawn the line, let's take 2 points on the graph. So 1 point, it would be an exact point, that is -2 comma 3, that is right here. Let's write it here, -2 comma 3. And the second point we could take is where it's intersecting the y-axis, that is right here, that is 0 comma -3. So let's take these 2 points. Now we have these 2 points. Now the formula of finding the gradient is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let's do that. So first let's write the points over here, that is -2 comma 3 and 0 comma -3. It is 0 comma -3, yes. Okay, so y2, which is -3, minus y1, which is 3, divided by x2, which is 0, minus, so minus of -2 will become +2, so therefore it will be -6 divided by 2, and therefore you will get your final answer as -3. Now again, for these type of questions, it's okay if you don't get the same answer that I've got, because again they would give a range for these type of questions, because they know that it's a sketch graph. So they would probably give a range, say from 1 to 5, not that big of a range, say 2 to 5 or 2 to 4, something like that. So they would give a range of answers that could be correct. So as long as your answer is within that range, you will be fine. Now let's move to part D1. So for part D1, they are asking us to complete the table for the following function, that is 2 raised to -x. Okay, so if we substitute x as -3, it would become 2 raised to minus of -3, so that is equal to 2 raised to 3 itself. Therefore your y coordinate for when x is -3 would be 8. Like that, you substitute the remaining x coordinates and you find the different y coordinates for the corresponding x coordinates. So for -2, it would be 4. For 2, it would be 0.25. Now let's move to part D2. So for part D2, they are asking us on the grid opposite or the above to draw the graph of y is equal to gx. So now we have the coordinates, we have everything that we need essentially. So let's plot the points first and then we'll join the dots. So -3 comma 8 is the first point, so that would come right here. Then is -2 comma 4, which is right here. Next is -1 comma 2, which is right here. Next is 0, 1, which is right here. Next is 1, 0.5, which is right here. Then is 2, 0.25, which is right here. And 3, 0.125. That point you don't really need to plot, because that would be really tough to plot on this graph. So let's go ahead and draw the curve. Now you should make sure to use a pencil and try and have a free hand action so it comes as accurately as possible, the graph. So let's go ahead and draw the curve. So like this. Yeah, that would be pretty decent. But yeah, so try and draw it with as free-handed as possible so that it comes as accurately as possible. Now let's move to part D3 of this question. So they are asking you to use the graph to find the positive solution to the equation f of x is equal to g of x. Okay, so for this all you need to do is see where the curve intersects the original curve, that is the f of x equation. So it intersects the curve right here. So that would be at the point approximately at the point 1.85. So you could say that your final answer for D3 is 1.85. So therefore, for these type of questions, again, they would have a range of answers that would be correct. Say probably a range of, say, 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place. It could be different depending on question to question, because they know, again, that it's a sketch, so it cannot be as accurate as they need it to be. But as long as it is even say 70% or 80% accurate, you should get the correct answer for this question. And therefore these are the final answers for question 5 of this paper.